Today I have an old friend, old schoolmate. It's just another episode.
It's a reunion.
It's a reunion of some sort. It's been a while. Like, I'm sure she hasn't seen this picture in a long time. You see this?
Yes!
Look at me. I look like a zombie.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not like
Is that even you? You looked different, like a total different person.
I can't believe.
Yes.
I can't believe
that was
me.
our matric dance after part. It was a very traumatic experience coming from a small town for me. I had to grow up very fast. But first, I went through really dark times.
Sure.
Yeah, like I say, I didn't have awareness of what was happening. I didn't have a plan. I am so in love with people. I hate it. I've had challenges in the industry.
Sure.
Of course.
Well, then why leave?
Things happen. It wasn't my own decision
to leave.
Yeah, so that's what happened. But I love Skeem Saam so much. I miss it. I feel like ngahamba ngingakukwaneliseki.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed on this show by the hosts do not necessarily state or reflect of those of the channel. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect of the host and of the channel.
This is the podcast about nothing with your host Leo Black, the unfiltered voice.
Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is podcast about nothing, and my name is Leo Black. And guys, I'm so excited about this one today. Today I have an old friend, old schoolmate. It's just another episode.
It's a reunion.
It's a reunion of some sort. It's been a while, Today is just gonna be a very, very it's a full circle moment where like you meet people that you were like in school with, doing everything. Now we're doing our own thing.
Yes,
it's badala and everything. We're doing our own thing. So it's that type of moment right now. So I'm really excited to have this guest today. And Yamona now, she's glowing, she's excited. So obviously, if you don't know her, I don't know where have you been, because she's been gracing our screens. She's been doing so amazing in the industry. Her name is Nozuko Ntshangase. So the things kind of change as you grow and evolved. But no, I don't think she's married because I don't see a finger on her.
Not yet.
Exactly.
Not yet.
So she will tell us everything about that. But more than anything, she's an actress that is coming from a small town called GAMALAKHE. If you don't know GAMALAKHE, guys, just Google it. It's in Port Shepstone, KZN, in the lower South Coast. You will know where the place is, and she comes from there. And you will understand the magnitude. And then you make these kind of strides in the industry that you've done so well. And she has been doing very well. And she has starred in shows like Skeem Saam, Scandal, Deep City as a lead act in that show as well. And also, she just recently there's a show that recently ended called ISIPHIWO, and she was there also as a lead actor. Today we have her here, and she's gonna tell us all about the journey that she's I say hambile because and I just want to know more than anything. We haven't spoken like
we haven't in a long time. Yo, Leo Black.
This is Leo Black. It's pseudonym. It's a pseudonym, and it's just you don't want.
It's your stage name. I love it. I love it. I ngirighting, ngijabulile ukukhuluma nawe. Wow.
And do you remember that we started talking about this last year? I think it was still an idea in my head. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do podcasting because I have this thing. I have love for people. Been telling me that you have such a nice voice. You should do radio. I'm like, because I don't know anyone in radio. There's nobody in my family. I don't know anyone. So I was just like, let me just try this.
I'm happy for you because you definitely have that star factor.
Is it?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that because like I'm quite nervous. I don't know why. It's because like I'm excited at the same time. So I just like I want this to be so great because it's been something that we spoke about
for such a long time.
And I remember even like let's do a virtual, and I'm like nah,
it's not enough.
It's not gonna give about whatever that I want because I want to feel this about right now. it's such a very nice
beautiful
experience.
moment.
Yeah.
So I'm also I'm excited more than anything.
Yeah.
We get, for us, this is a catch up.
It is. It's like, hey, like how many 14 years ago we were sharing the same class. Like,
we were
like,
literally friends.
Exactly.
We were literally friends. Exactly. It's just we haven't seen each other in a very long time.
Exactly. Because obviously, like, we weren't like after high school, everyone went
their own way to study somewhere, and life moves on.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? I have a very like a memory that I want to share with her. And I'm sure she has forgotten about it. And I went through the archive to just get this one. Bruh, we don't look like this anymore. I'm so glad. I have a picture that we took on our matric dance after party. And you guys, I'm going to show it here. And I'll show it to her. Like, I'm sure she hasn't seen this picture in the longest time. You see this?
Yes!
Look at me. I look like a zombie.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not like
is that even you? You looked different, like a total different person.
I can't believe.
Yes.
I can't believe
that was our matric dance after party. Shout out to Umhlengi. I miss him so much. But if I think of our matric dance after party, I always think of him.
Yeah. May his soul rest in peace, guys. And listen, this was one of the matric dance ball that I was like, you know what, guys, if I can relive one day, it's one of them, because we had so much fun.
We had so much fun.
And you know what? Like, I want to say shout out to the teachers from GAMALAKHE commercial for being the coolest and allowing us to actually have fun. Yeah, to have fun, because at some point, like about Amanya is in college, they don't get to experience what we experience because they just have the ball in the hall, and then it's just
that's it.
That's it. But they said no. We're gonna take a step further. We're gonna go to Durban.
We were lucky. We were
go
cool
to Durban
team.
with you. We're gonna go to, because I think we were outside Coastlands Hotel when we were still in town, and then we literally, it was a vibe.
It was a vibe. Big Nas was a thing at that time. We were pissed.
See this one. See this one.
And I forgot to call her. I wanted to call her before we started. Oh my Dilinga
the show. Yeah. I haven't spoken to her actually in a while as well.
Yeah,
like,
she's around. She's around.
She's here.
She's here in Joburg.
Because 1 minute she's in Durban, next she's in Joburg. People like
Ipunguka in Dilinga.
I can never really confirm Gutungago. But more than anything, it's just like I'm so happy that we're still alive. We're still, like doing whatever that you want to do in life and being happy more than anything. And
making
healthy.
our dreams come true.
Exactly.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
wow.
we are. We're adults now.
Yes. We adults now.
We are the new adults. Like, bro, it hasn't sunk into me. Like, sometimes I'm like, why?
Yep.
Why
are we this old?
Why am I chosen one? Can I unsubscribe? Can I Puma?
I wish it was that easy. Yeah, it's not.
But you just have to like be there and do it, because it requires you like to. Some of us are parents, some are married.
Like, I mean, like, guys, in teenage pregnancy. I think I'm like, Haibo,
we're doing it.
And shout out to that. That's bravery,
it has been one of the, like,
I'm
married. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, some are
but
married.
we're there now. I stand a chance. Yeah,
you can't run away from it.
We can't run away from it.
It's growth, guys. Like, I mean, I turned 32 like a few days ago.
Wow.
Like, it's been like, I don't want to grow any old anymore. I wish you can just like. As
men learn, I see again.
Like spoiling move because reflect how I'm going 25. I wanna.
But also, can we just recognize how beautiful we look in our 30s?
Exactly, we look so good. Like, we look really. I was looking at this picture this morning. I'm like, I probably have one of the best glow up ever, because this can never be like me. Because like, you guys, if you see that picture, I look like a ghost. Like, you can't even tell that's a person. It's like, that's actually a person. It's so like, but like, we doing good. We're looking good. We're healthy. We're doing about it as right, and that is important. That's why I always say, like, do what makes you happy and take care of yourself
Amen.
and everyone around you, and life will take care of you.
Amen.
Yeah, no, it's more than anything, we're just gonna get to the business. Obviously, it's just not serious, guys. Don't take us serious. Sometimes you're gonna off track. Allow us.
Let us be.
We're having a catch up.
We are catching up.
Yeah. Excuse me. More than anything, like, you moved to Joburg. Like, how was that for you? Like, from a small town, like, because Casa Coast is like so small.
Yeah.
It's so tiny, and you're just like, you know what? Let me go to this huge place, because I've been here for like how many days? I think 3 days. But like, coming from the east to the north to the whatever, it's just a lot. It's like
Yes.
It's like it's still Joburg, guys. It's still Joburg. I'm like, it's so big.
Yes. At first, I didn't have awareness of what it is that I was doing. I just wanted to act, and I just wanted to follow the acting route and get a job on television. It was about beating poverty at first, and then I grew up into it, and then I started learning Uguti Gahle. Joburg was a very traumatic experience coming from a small town for me. I had to grow up very fast. But first, I went through really dark times.
Sure.
Yeah, like I say, I didn't have awareness of what was happening. I didn't have a plan. Then this is the kind of life.
You didn't have a relative or whatever.
I didn't. I didn't. I just came here and I got a job and ngangihlala with people I didn't know. So as now sengikhulile, I realized ukuthi it was a traumatic experience. Kwamele ukuthi ngikhule real fast. But if I can just quickly go through it, the challenges were the lack of awareness, not knowing myself, and not having a vision of what it is that I'm building and where I'm going.
Sure.
Because I think when you're dreaming as a child, it's just about, can I go to school, get a job?
Yeah.
And then you think everything is gonna fall into space,
Sure.
but you still have to pursue other things.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the experience. I didn't have awareness, which led me to depression. Sure. I found anxiety in this. I realized I've got anxiety. I was like, what is that?
I think, like, when you grow up, you pick up these things because you are around these energies, these people, this environment, and they add so much into your life that literally mess up your mind.
Yes.
To a point that you can't even like understand your own mind. You can't do the things that you like. It used to be so simple.
It used to be so simple.
But now it's just like,
yes, and that really requires you to be grounded within yourself. So I didn't have that when I came to Johannesburg, and young shy good,
yeah.
I lang shy.
But you still look fine. But
I had to fight. Listen, guys, If anything, I will win.
Exactly.
I will win. So
Yeah.
I fought. I fought for me to be healthy again, for me to find myself again,
Yeah.
to understand who Nozuko is. Ngingahambi no moy.
Yeah.
Because that's very easy to happen in this town.
True. Like, so many people have come and went, and like,
Yes.
because they can't cope with the situation that they find themselves. Because even today I dream of coming and live here, but I'm still a small town boy in me that is like telling me, nah, I'm gonna be swallowed here. Like I was having a conversation with someone yesterday. I was like telling them, like, you know what, I'd love to live here, but there's just so many things happening. And remember what I told you in the car, that like is the things that's happening in here is just like so many things. So you can't there's so many things that play in your head. You just like think so much. You just have to. And now you're telling me that, and it is things you were not prepared for, but you encountered. It's just a lot. I think you just need to have a mental strength. You
need to. So I had to learn that I needed mental strength.
Sure.
That I needed spiritual strength. And that's what really helped me when I started my self-discovery journey and my healing journey. Then
that's good to hear. Let's take it back, like real back down in Makokokweni, as you said, where it all started, because we can now see you looking all nice in the big screens and everything, doing your thing, but it's literally started there. Like,
that's where it started.
As someone who had literally limited exposure, resources and everything, how were you able to dream so big that you want to go to the lights, even though they seem so far from you?
I always had the light inside of me that always told me that I can be anything I wanted to be.
Yeah,
I've always had it, before joining a Muhleo artist.
Yeah.
But also I grew up in a household where my mom constantly said, I couldn't do it, so you need to do it. I believe my mom was a big dreamer.
Yeah.
Although she did it when it was a time for her to raise her kids, she was, the way that she led us, it was from, I couldn't do it, so you guys must do it.
Yeah.
Yes. It did bring a bit of pressure, but also it put me in a position to want more. To want to see, I'm gonna be 17. I'm gonna go past the age where my mom couldn't go to school anymore because she had to leave school because she got pregnant with me.
Yeah.
So I had to say that I'm gonna fight whatever it takes. I am going to make sure that I make it out. With acting specifically, honestly, how it came to me, it was a godly process because, what would I say? So the story is, I saw a magazine and there was a woman, and under that lady, it was written actress. I don't remember who it was, but I know that at one stage I was obsessed with Jennifer Aniston, so maybe it was her, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then from seeing that picture, like, something inside of me said, this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
And from that day, I was doing grade 5. I just never stopped searching for acting.
So, like, for me, why would you do this to yourself? You're going through class la Miss Zule accounting. You're going with physics class la Miss Mabui, math. You're doing this big, you're in a science class, math class, and everything. Like, but the dream is to act, because I don't think being an actor requires you to like do all those subjects. Like, why would you do this to yourself? Because, like, it was one of the subjects.
But I didn't do science.
You did commerce.
I did commerce. It's just that we were in the same class because of something. I don't remember why.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't. The only thing you didn't do is physics.
I did accounting, maths, and economics. But what else would I have done?
Yeah, but still, bro. Like, you could have went to the other class that did math.
The class that did math. I could have.
Yeah, but obviously,
but because also I was doing really good in my studies.
That's what I was saying. Like,
I was doing really good. So the teachers just never advised me to do that. Everybody was so shocked when I chose commerce. They were like, "You need to go to science, to the science stream." But I was like, "I want to be an actor," and I've always loved the idea of being an entrepreneur. So I was like, "No, it's definitely business. It makes no sense for me to do science."
But then it's kind of goes back to that you did business, because this is a business.
This is a business, yes.
So you eventually gonna like lean back to what you've learned at school and everything. I could just say that right now, but like literally everything like throws back to what we learned at school and everything. Because I remember it was you, Pilile, and I don't know the third one. Yes. You first came at school. I was like, who are these girls? Like, of all these Model C girls, I'm like, who are these girls?
Model C.
Well, you were like introduced to us like, oh, these girls. I'm like, oh, and trust me, I was like, you know what? After that, I think we just became friends. Like, because I think we were all friends in the class, like a lot.
From grade 8, because didn't you start at GAMALAKHE commercial?
I didn't. I started grade 10.
Oh, you started at grade 10.
Yes, and then after that, that's when like now.
And you were not there when we left.
Yeah, you. So I wasn't familiar with you guys. Only when you guys came back, I was like, oh. Everybody knows who are these girls, but I don't know who are these girls. I'm like, okay, but anyway, they're here now, so whatever and everything. I'm just like, oh, more girls like used to love girls. I'll lie to you.
guys, if I would tell you this person loved women, I wonder if you still love women the way you used to love women. I'm sure right now,
I started so early. Now I think I've reached the ceiling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But right now it's just like, okay, I'm trying to find.
But the thing is, girls loved you. You used to drive girls crazy. I know, because I had a friend who dated you. So
it was crazy.
If not friends.
Yeah,
High school was crazy.
Do you even remember that even me going to this matric dance, there was a fight about who I was going with? Anyway, let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there. But yeah, it was good times anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So like now you are literally finishing school and saying, you know what, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like what pushes you to like, because I know that you were attending emotional artists and everything. Yes. Doing the acting, you like a couple of guys as well. But what literally pushed you so further, like about make you like stand out of everybody?
I don't think that I stood out of everybody. I know that there's so many people who are so talented, that I know from back home and that I attended emotional artists with. It's such a good question, Uguti. What could I say actually, set me apart? I think it's my passion and my drive. I am someone that, and my manifestation. I truly believe that I manifested where I am. I read The Secret when I was 16 years old, and every night before I sleep, I would visualize myself living the life that I'm living today. Having a job on television and being an artist, a recognized artist, an influential artist. So before I sleep, I would always do that, and I think manifestation really did set me apart.
Sure.
Because we were all driven, we were all passionate, and we all wanted to fight for it. But for me, it was the fact that I manifested it. But after high school, I faced some challenges, and everything ended up falling into space. But I couldn't go to school because of financial problems. I was in a situation where it was even difficult for my mom to even afford a registration process. School, so I had to find other ways to make it. And I was lucky that Emuhle kept on getting a lot of opportunities in Durban with other directors that directors that were prominent, such as Abo Edmund Mhlongo. We were getting chances to work with Neil Kupin, like people who've made it in the theater industry. So for me, that was my training. That was my taste at mainstream training. Going to the Playhouse with Emuhlol artists to compete there. All of those opportunities made me I grabbed on those opportunities. I listened, I did the work, I did the practice, and I prayed for the job and I manifested it. And it's really just that. When I believe that I can do something, I will go for it.
Yeah.
I'm just like that.
But you know what's tricky is everybody could say that, and I went for it, I believe everything, but it's just not as easy as you saying those words. Of course. There is a lot of hard work behind. There's, I'm sure, doubt also in that.
Yes.
Because you question yourself, like imposter syndrome. Like, am I really that good? Do people actually see whatever I'm doing? You've had those moments, surely.
Yes. I've had those moments. I've had moments of doubt, especially with acting, because I don't know why with acting I've seen that it's a thing with most actors that we struggle with believing in ourselves. So, but when I was auditioning back then, as a kid, as a teenager, excuse me, I had so much hope, and also I had confidence. When I was trying to get my first job on television, there was no other way. My mentality, I believed it so much that there was literally no other way. There was there wasn't me not getting a job and me not being able to provide for my family. For me, it was just gonna be like that, and I truly believed it. And I wanted to say I didn't have as much doubt that I have right now as I am older. As I am older now, I feel like I experience more doubt, But back then, I used to throw myself in. I had less fear. Yeah. Fear is something that I got here in Joburg, actually.
But I think maybe it's just like, okay, this is a different environment.
Yes,
you can't
I think
adopt the same mentality and style because you could literally get yourself burned.
Yes, but when I was auditioning back home, like I knew that I deserved it. I knew that it was mine. I knew that.
Wasn't it frustrating? Sorry to cut you.
No, not a problem.
Wasn't it frustrating for you that back in Durban, KZN, there isn't like a big industry there that you can literally make a name for yourself? I think there wasn't even Nozalo at the time. There wasn't even like those shows like Osbona Omkoka right now that are really based in KZN. Like, wasn't it like maybe something like, oh, where am I gonna get a break here? Wasn't like maybe like frustrating at that moment for you to like, I need to go there and for me to get whatever that I want, I can't get it here?
I think obviously at that time I was too young to understand that. But I think it would have been lovely to work in an industry that is close. And also for the development of the industry in KZN, it's so important that we work there. Even now, I still pray for a job that will take me to KZN, and I feel that I can work closer to home. So, but at that moment, I did dream of the big lights, and I wanted to be in Johannesburg. So ngikhule kwi family where abomalume, since I'm from Epizana, abomalume worked in Johannesburg. So my family has like a long history of people that left home to go work in Johannesburg. So I've always dreamt of that and doing that. But to even just say more on how much development needs to take place in KZN, and which we are glad that now there's shows like Umkoka. I think Umkoka is shot in KZN.
Yeah, it is based in KZN.
Yes.
Uzalo, obviously. What was other shows? But there are now,
yes, Bongile and Ibis and the Dlaminis.
Yes, as well. Yes, there are now more shows coming.
There are now more shows coming in.
Growing that side.
Industry iyakula. But the times, Tina, when we started this acting thing, I mean, even GAMALAKHE, we used to perform in churches just to.
Yeah, I remember.
And we were just trying to make people understand, there's theater, there's acting, there's performance.
You leave school. At 3, go to rehearsals, like every day, and you're still gonna do homework at home, right?
Not necessarily every day, weekends, but sometimes there were times where we had performances, so we had to come in during the week. So I think I'm saying that when we started GAMALAKHE, we had to teach people about what it is that we were doing. And the first time that I saw a theater, it was in Durban. And that time, all we had was just competitions, and obviously, and AMA seasons but only for mainstream people who are doing theater. But I'm so glad right now, Sese, we space where all those people that have been attending competitions with, that we came from different towns. Some people came from Ladysmith with community groups. We are at a point now where most of us are on the television industry. So there is growth that's taking place. Some of us are taking very big roles here in Johannesburg, not only in KZN, but here in Johannesburg. So I'm an artist at KZN, and it's beautiful. You can see the groundwork that KZN has been doing. You can see it now. I can see it. So even when we didn't have a mainstream industry that side, there was work that was being done, and the work now we are reaping the fruits.
Yes. And it's so beautiful because I was watching another podcast when people saying that as much like this film or television industry is not based in KZN, but it is mostly KZN. Like you need to understand understand the fact that Zulu is like that language that can literally take you to places, and some people have lost jobs because
it's so unfair though.
Really, how can it be so fair? It can't be level like that. But she was saying that it is important to understand isiZulu, no matter and everything like that, and it is quite unfair because obviously like we have like 11 12 languages in South Africa, so why focus on one?
I don't even understand it coming up, or maybe I think maybe is it a possibility that KZN people are very loyal viewers of television?
But I think it's the language that is very like predominant in this country. So obviously now when you have shows on TV that have people speaking a language that is predominantly spoken in the country, you also going to attract viewers, right?
Okay.
So now you obviously you need that because most shows,
I hear you,
because there's also people this thing of like Black Zulu people don't want to learn other languages. If like there's a new show that's coming through to Queen Mujaji, it's speaking Sesotho.
Is it Lupedi? It's I think it's more Tonga side. It's something, I forgot the name. I just forgot it.
So now when you watch the show, you're not gonna be like, oh, you're listening to them speaking your mother tongue. You need to read the subtitles. But we used to learn. Now you like the suiting size in Estwana. I learned from generations.
Oh, how
I don't understand why now there's so much like emphasis of people to not always know is Zulu like that, because Tina, it actually gives you a platform to learn the language.
I always say, I think the people that create content forget that ibona that influence people. And it's not the other way around. So it's them that's feeding people Zulu content, and then it's like, no, everybody wants Zulu. No, you guys have been feeding people Zulu content.
Exactly. And also another thing that they forget is that the audience is always welcoming new content, and they can literally watch. Just
give us good story. Give us what's good. Like we will take it.
I even remember when people were watching Ushaka Last Lembe, I was like, you know what? People were watching like all of corners of
throughout the country. And no one said, "Hey, it's Zulu cool." It's because no one said that.
It's because it's a representation of the Zulu people. But now we can't make that as like every show should be a representation of Zulu people. Like
teach the Zulus how to hear the language abanye abantu.
Kenneth Mashaba wayekhuluma ilanguage yakhe ngiyithi uyangiqwishisha bona. I'll get excited. Yes. But I think it's now has become like a thing of like, oh, it's Zulu against everybody else. So now everybody
shouldn't be like that.
I feel like that's an unfortunate thing. But one other thing that I've always noticed about you is your humility. Like you still have it. You're still a grounded person. You're still someone that is very like humble and like kind. Has that been a very like a difficult thing to maintain when you come to Joburg?
Has it been? I don't think it's been a difficult thing to maintain. I mean, I get irritated just like everybody else. And sometimes I am the B word just like everybody else. But in who I am, I see people and I am so in love with people. I hate it ngoba niyizinja. But I love humans. I love getting to know people, and also in a safe space. I don't want to make another person feel uncomfortable. I want you to open up. You know, I want to be that for you. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to learn when you're with me. I want us to get to know each other and be nice. So I love that, and I think it's somewhere in my purpose to create safe spaces for people. So it's just who I am.
Has it like been a thing for you that got you burned in the industry, like because you humble, you think people are like you, they think like you, they have the humility as you? Has it like maybe led you into a darker spaces where you trust the wrong people, you've extended the same humility to them, that they don't give you the same, and then now it's led you to like a very like dark place?
So within the industry, not necessarily, because if I have an agent and my agent deals with a lot of things, production, administration, and what I deal with is the art itself. So that does not need, it doesn't matter whether you are humble or not humble. You know, you're practicing the art. And yeah, so I wouldn't say necessarily in the industry. And when it comes to making friends in the industry, it's in my nature to create genuine relationships. And the people that I've fought with, you know, that I've had arguments with and conflict with, it's just not even, and that's what I want to say. It has nothing to do with the industry. It's just it's on personal level. You know, where
it's not like you meant it and he got the role that you wanted and stuff like that.
So like you know, this is why I always say the industry has a process. I've had challenges in the industry, of course, but this is why I say the industry has a process. When someone comes to me and they're like, I'd like to get a job, I say the industry has a process. You have to get an agent, and then you're gonna get auditions, and then from there, you know, you're gonna understand what the process is. And the reason I say that, because the process is what protects you. You know, it's what protects you from couch casting. It's what protects you from having toxic relationship with producers. I don't have relationship with producers and I'm okay. But producers love me because you know why? I do the job. So I have professional relationships with people. And if ever you're saying something I don't understand, my agent will call you. Anna is going to call you.
Is like couch casting a real thing? Like, apparently
it is, but I've never experienced it.
You've never?
Yes, but I've heard a lot of ladies talk about it, and I really feel like it. You see, and I say this to make people aware. At that stage, when you're still trying to get in the industry, that's where it is. If you think you're going okay. And let me be actually sensitive to this because it's such a sensitive thing.
Yeah, it is.
So I understand that, you know, like bad things can happen even when you follow the process. I understand that. But I'm talking to people because there's a lot of people who think that things can come easy. Who think they can avoid the auditions and what. Yeah, the people that like the shortcuts. So I'm talking to those people. I'm not talking to people that, you know, were following the process and then unfortunate things happen to them. Yeah. So if you think that you're going to have a shortcut in life, in the industry, then you will open yourself up to such things. But if you follow the fact that you need to have a skill first if you want to be in the industry. You know, get a skill somewhere. No one is going to pick you. People are sitting there waiting to be picked. Have a skill, sharpen your skill, learn. And after learning, get an agent, you know, record self-tape, get an agent. After getting an agent, then the agent sends you auditions. From the auditions, you attend the auditions. You audition, you get a contract. It's that. Just like normal mupum sebenzi, there's a process.
But people would say, hey, my agent, what? It seems like you are just blocking my way. Because I'm sure there's people that come to you. I'm like, if it's, hey, I need to do acting. I love acting. I want to like, and you just tell them like, get an agent. And we're like, they feel demotivated or rejected by that. Like, how do you then now like get an agent? Like, because I'm guys, if I want to pursue acting now, where would I go and like where can I get an agent?
I'm my agent online. So you Google, and this is the funniest thing. Every time I have to answer this question, I'm just like, how you wanted to be an actor, but you've never Googled South African Johannesburg agencies. It's that simple. And then the first page, or the second page, if not the third page, but it's not going to be very far. You are going to see PMA. That PMA page, I just don't know what PMA stands for, sorry. But what they are, they're a structure or an organization that can verify for you the agencies that are not scammers. Yes. So from PMA, there's a list of agencies that you can contact. So you're gonna check the name, artist connection, canvas cap, MLA, whatever. And then you check the name, you go to Google again. MLA email address. You see the email address. There's no other email address. The same email address that's on the web, that's the email address that I have.
Okay.
Ayikho magic.
Okay.
So it's that simple. But you know what's tricky? Abantu abafuna ukufunda.
I think the people care to Google things that are like frivolous.
Yeah.
Like they.
But abafuna ukugooglisha lezi
Kim
ezibalulekile.
Kardashian, they will Google
love
it and
that.
find out about it.
Yes.
They will spend a lot of time on social media and all these other platforms, like researching and consuming content or whatever that will not help them. But the things that they should be really focusing on and Googling about and finding information about, you're just boring them.
But I want to say, I think then someone thinks, "Oh, I don't have a degree. Agents engaging take ganjan. If there's formal education and then there's informal education,
Sure.
agencies are aware of that. Angnai degree ngila, but I'm agents angtata. Why? Because I've been attending workshops and working with different coaches.
Sure.
You're just gonna come from home and then someone is gonna see you and then now you're a star. Guys, there's possibly like 0.1 out of 20 people that thing happens to. If when you want to claim what's yours, take your position.
Okay, it's something that and I wanted to highlight because many people, I feel like they know this but they don't want to like research about this. But at the same time, it is there and available for people to access that.
Yeah.
Let's get to your acting now.
Yes.
Like your roles, like you've been like my first ever encounter. I know you've been in this industry for more than 10 years now.
It's going to 10 years now.
It's 10 years next year in the screen industry,
Yes.
right? Because I think you made your first debut on screen in 2015.
Yes.
On Skeem Saam.
Yes.
As Ayanda is.
Yes.
Ayanda jump. So you made your debut there.
Yeah.
Like, how was that process for you to, from the start? Like, take us from the beginning. How was the whole thing for you to get into the situation? Like, I'm literally gonna be on the prime time slot on television.
Yeah. What happened? 2014, August. I didn't have. I wasn't at school. It had been 4 years after matric.
Sure.
My mom starts talking to me about I'm tired. The acting yako ikholelu 300 rand because with theater, we used to get paid like 300 rand, 500 rand, 1,000 rand sometimes. It's like it's not enough. I'm struggling. You need to go to school so that you can have the paper.
Yeah.
So that August, when I had the conversation with my mom, I remember talking to the lady that was directing me at that moment. So I had a conversation with my mom. Then I went to Durban, and I was doing a play called Sugar Spice, directed by Pilsiwe Tvenstra. And I speak to Pilsiwe about this. She's like, you know what, Zuko? Go back to school. Make your mom happy. Go do a teacher's degree, because at this moment it's going to be difficult for you to get into drama school. I tried DIEP, they're like, it's too late.
Sure.
So we're rehearsing a play in August. In October, we are going to perform this play in Johannesburg here for a women's festival. It was a beautiful two-hander. So in October, we perform here at Olive Tree in Alex. For Asinti Yang. At that moment, I knew her because she had traveled to Port Shepstone to help us do a certain play for Zabalaza Festival.
Okay.
So she used to work at the Market Theatre. So now she owned her own theatre in Alex, and I was performing at her female festival. Okay. We finished performing. I go back to KZN. I don't have a job for the next coming months. And then I start applying to UKZN Ejude. And they take me, we're like, we're happy with your mics. And then I'm going to start in January. And then somewhere around November, I receive a call from Asinti Yang, the one that I was performing in her theatre.
Sure.
She's like, so someone came to watch you while you were performing, and they're asking for your contact because they want to audition you for Skeem Saam.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, that is amazing. Tell that person, let's talk.
Yeah.
they call me. This time I was saying is calling me in the evening. And then Putla calls, and Putla's like, yes, we hear you speak good Zulu. You come highly recommended. I'm like, what? Please, we need you here tomorrow. At that time, there were no self-tapes at that moment.
Yeah.
The industry was not familiar with self-tapes, because if it was today, they would have said, do a self-tape.
Yeah.
So then it's like, tomorrow, I don't have money. My mom quickly goes to borrow the money. And Ubongane gives us the money, the guy that the one that taught me, the owner of Emotional Artist.
Yes.
So he gives us the money. And then I come to Johannesburg the following day. I got here around 6 o'clock in the evening. It was a Friday. I did the audition. And I did the audition, and I believe I didn't get it. I went back home. They never called me. They never said anything. Like absolutely nothing. The following year, I go to Edgewood. I go study. 6 months into Edgewood, it was June. I get a call from Putla. Putla says, I loved your audition, but unfortunately, we got someone that looked more like the character. So now we are calling you to come and do their friend.
Oh, okay.
So they cast Natasha
for that role.
Yes, for the
that
role
you-
I auditioned for that I didn't get, and then they said I must come do their
her friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I got the role, and that's what happened. The experience was really beautiful. I had to drop out of Edgewood because of financial reasons. I looked at it and I was like, I'm not gonna let go of this opportunity because next year I don't think I'm gonna come back here. I owe them a lot.
Sure.
And I won't be able to pay. So that's what happened. It was such a beautiful experience. Skeem Saam it was so welcoming. I was welcomed by Putla, who workshopped me, Neo Matunyane, who had so much patience for me, in making me understand language, camera, language, soapy.
You've never been in a setup of like soapy.
I had never seen those big cameras. I'd never seen a studio.
Yeah.
All of it was my first time.
Really?
Yes. But these people just had an understanding.
Yes.
So they babied me through it. And I think of it right now, knowing the industry, I'm just like, I was so lucky.
Yeah, you had patient people who literally...
I was so lucky. It's like, I don't know why they had such an understanding that they taking a girl from a small town.
I think what made it a little maybe easier for them is because everyone from Skeem Saam is like a raw talent.
Yes.
When you look at it, when it started, like it's just people that we've never seen in the industry that they were given a shot. Because most of the cast that Skeem Saam started with, it was nobody that we were
that
really,
you knew.
You knew.
I will forever be grateful, Shem, for that part because. They really workshopped me and took me through it. And
then like now you're enjoying it and everything, and then how? Just how's your ham? You're leaving.
Yes.
This is such enjoy to Intombiachama and everything, and now you enjoy. It was a very nice breakout scene for like now we're seeing everybody in varsity and everything, because I used to watch Skeem Saam every time. So like you always see Makaya or Mantuli, no Tipos, and they were all struggling, going to school, whatever. Now we're seeing this scene in varsity, and now you're there, and there's other characters, Natasha, I forgot his name,
Mlungi Smart.
Yes, and Ujam Oros for years. Like now we see these new characters, and also you there, and it's beautiful to see. I'm just like, nah, man. I was so excited. I literally jumped off my screen. I'm like, I know the girl. I told everyone that I could listen. I need to go to the same class with her. Listen, it was such a proud moment for me, honestly.
I can imagine. That's beautiful.
It was beautiful. Then why leave?
Things happened. Okay. It wasn't my own decision
to leave.
Yeah. But izinto zenzeka that ekugcineni I had to leave.
Control over. Yeah.
I didn't have control over it. I had to, go to the other production that I ended up working in.
Because, I think not long enough you were on Scandal.
I was on the other production. Shout out to my agent.
You had an agent then. Did you have an agent before you got into?
I didn't.
You didn't.
But I got to Skeem Saam real fast. I told agent, "Anglali mine passage." Aibo, anglali passage. I see actors like going on for years being in the industry without an agent. Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand if you are at an age. There's a certain age. Well, not age. Maybe level or maturity.
A-list, as you don't get the call for
then
auditions.
You don't need. But if you're still hustling, you need that agent. Yeah. You need the agent. So that's what happened. But I love Skeem Saam so much. I miss it. I love. I think what broke my heart, ngokhamba khona, it was I love youthful shows.
Yeah.
I love
it was giving like about,
I love beautiful stories.
Yeah. It was giving the about like we are seeing ourselves, like about kids. It's like the soul bodies about when we were younger and everything. It was very relatable.
And I like that. Yeah. I really like that about it.
But and then now you leave, you go to Scandal. And I think Scandal was just like where everything just like took it like a big like we took a giant leap on there, and then you are now Pindile.
My beautiful Pindi.
Yeah. It was so crazy like seeing you because you're playing Irulama Mngane. So Lindy and this other guy I forgot, but like Stelo, yes. Like you are literally aren't, but like and you literally nailed the role. Like you killed it. Like
you so much.
I was just like watching you grow in that role. I'm just like, you know what? Singing when I is I forget this person is very young. Like I'm literally singing it like literally. Like how was that for you? Like getting to such a role?
Liberating.
Is it?
It was so liberating. Ngiyakuthanda uku-actor yazi kahle ngiyakuthanda uku-actor. Scandal was so beautiful because I met Mom Grace there, and she was the person that I was talking with in terms of the role and what's expected of me.
Yeah.
And she gave me so much freedom to play.
Sure.
As much as I was very nervous.
Mom Grace is the director of the show? Or?
She is script producer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's the script producer, yes. And I was talking to her about how can we do the role, and she put a bit of pressure on me. She was like, I don't want that role to look like that role from Skeem Saam. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a different role.
It's a different role.
Yeah.
And imagine that time, I hadn't accepted that I was an actor.
Sure.
Because, guys like Mina, anyone who was they will tell you, I was like the weakest link.
Really?
I promise you.
Never. I promise
you. Never. I promise you. I was like the weakest link. Like, usually they would just put me as a stage manager.
Yeah.
While everybody else is acting. So it made me not have a confidence like enough, actor. Yeah. But I stayed because I felt at home. And I felt like whether ngiyakwazi or ngiyazi ngizoyenza still, because for me ingenza ngifile ngendlela engiyithandayo mangiyenza. So she said, I want this role to be different, and I felt pressure. I was nervous, but the more I read the role and worked on it and just genuinely worked on it, the more I felt like I see her. I feel her, and she is different from Ayanda. So that was liberating to see myself craft that, to see myself do that. I was like, wow, okay, you're able to do this thing. So
no, it was beautiful. I don't want to lie to you, because at one point I remember I think, how many seasons you were there?
I was there for 4 years, 4.5 years.
Exactly, it was a long time.
It was a long time. And wakula.
Yeah, you grew. You came like a ntombazane nje isuke emakhaya ezothile to become usebenza safe and clean, and now have your own life. You meet Javas, everything.
And wakula.
You grew in that character, and I saw a lot of growth. And I was just like, you know what? I didn't even, it started to feel like I was watching someone else. I wasn't even watching Nozuko that I know. It was such a beautiful moment. I won't lie to you. And then I was just like, we are hamba. Again. This girl now. We can't do. Because listen, man, I used to love soapies a lot.
Okay.
Like, I literally used to love soapies. But now I don't because I really have time to just sit down and watch the whole thing every day. But I used to love soapies.
I hear you.
And then now you're leaving. I'm just like, where could she go? This is prime time, baby. Where are you going? Like, where could you be going? And I was just like, why did you leave?
I know it was time. So nginento also yokuthi angithanda ukuhlala endaweni eyi-1.
Oh, yeah.
Isikhathi eside. Ayi, ngiyakhathala mina.
There wasn't like, okay, the role came like you see
No, not at all.
but like people have come out and said like the environment was not good enough, whatever.
Yeah, like, no, not for me. Ngase ngikhathele nje ukudlala uma mncane. And ngenhlanhla kaNkulunkulu ngase ngilindile nje, you know. But also if you remember the nature of the role, she was ngizomchaza kanjani? In theater we say she's a runner. And when we say a character is when we say okay, is it the actor that's a runner? It's the actor that becomes a runner,
sure.
Which means that you fill in different kinds of characters.
Sure.
So also with Upindile, obviously I don't know what term to call her, but Upindile bega. Like if kuguthi lapha kuyashota, someone needs a friend, we have a story and we need
she's a filler.
Yes.
Okay.
So she did that a lot, and I know that she had a few storylines which I was very grateful for.
Sure.
But she did a lot of filling
spaces.
And for an actor, Mina, it got to a point where I didn't enjoy that.
Oh, you wanted more.
I wanted more.
Grow.
I wanted to grow. I started craving ukula.
Which is healthy because
you can't be
comfortable in situations or positions where you feel like I can still offer more, but I'm limited because of this role. You need to try for better. I think that's a very healthy thing to do. Actually,
yes.
If you're making it like very like nice, like has it ever like about to you like you feel like I made a bad decision by leaving there. Like, I want to go back.
At Scandal?
No, like any other roles. Yeah.
I know. There's no way we have made a bad decision. But because sometimes we are kumbula, a character, and you miss the environment, I've felt like, I would like to go back, even if it's just for a week, you know, even if it's just for 2 weeks. There are spaces like that. But I wouldn't think akukho la ngenze khona a wrong decision. Akukho but ngingasho ukuthi phela creativity iyakhumbula. Ukhumbula ukuthi engathi ngingadlala nalabantu futhi yabo into ezikanjalo. So yeah, I do miss some spaces. Yeah, like I said, like I feel like Skeem Saam, especially because of I feel like ngahamba ngingakukwaneliseki.
Yes, it was a very like short, not short, but it was short.
Yeah,
in,
in
you
a
had
way.
It
Like the character
cool, yes.
I didn't see who Ayanda was. Even today, I don't remember who Ayanda was. You know, as much as ngisho njalo, like
I think you and Jama had an unfortunate shortest like character in Skeem Saam because he also didn't last long.
Yeah,
and I was just we also so shocked when he like
the whole country was going crazy. Like, how are you killing this boy?
Because
but it's story.
Yeah, sometimes the TV can literally make us fall in love with the characters only to kill them. Like when we literally
and those are the best.
Yeah,
when the audience loves the character, that's the best.
Yeah. Deep City comes. You're working with the greatest, Mandla N.
But he Tyler Perry was
like how? Like tell me. I want to know. Like I want to know about that one. I want to know. Like how did it come about? Were you guys even aware that when you're shooting season 2 it was going to end?
No, we were not aware, but we kept on hearing rumors. Actually, we asked how magical this thing is. Mina guys ngizwa ngani nokuthi nje I'm so dope ngizwa ngani. I'm just like, hey bro. So
you don't watch yourself on TV, girl. Please.
I get scared to watch myself first, but I do force myself sometimes. But sometimes I get scared. I love the fact that we speak of Istunywa. We speak of African spirituality. I'm in love with sharing that gospel because African spirituality has been demonized.
Yeah,
you know, for a very.
We're gonna play a little game. We're gonna give 2 options. We're gonna choose one. It's gonna be the actors that you've worked with.
Okay.
You're gonna choose one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is unfair.
Well, life isn't.